zombies!
Another day without a pay.
I am not a good boy. Hot soup coming through.
Bless our souls. I won't sleep in hell tonight.
This one's not joking.
Chronicles of Elyria is one of the first new massively multiplayer emergent online living worlds. It's something different than what we've seen before. It's kind of a completely new genre for an environment that allows players to experience an ongoing immersive story where they're not only actors and agents in the story, but they actually have control of the narrative in a way that makes them feel like there's a reason for them to log in every single day. The Soulborn engine, at its core, is designed to be a system that pays attention to what's going on in the world around it. And as players do things, whether or not that's gather a lot of wealth, wander from one village or settlement to another, farm their fields, whatever the players are doing, the engine pays attention to that and use that as an opportunity to spin fantastic story arcs that can really change up what the player was planning to do.
You can build something, you can destroy something, you can craft something, you can do combat. All of these different options are available to you, but there's also a purpose to what you're doing in the game. It's good storytelling to put people in uncomfortable situations or to push them beyond their limits. And that's, I think, what is really going to set Chronicles of Elyria apart.
The idea with most MMOs is that they're either theme park or sandbox games, but they're really two sides of the same coin. So what we're trying to do with Chronicles of Elyria is to create a world where, through the player's actions, they have not only a strong narrative that's created by us as well as through them, but they have a reason to use the toys in the sandbox.
Design has a pretty deep...
Where is your son?
In good hands.
Where are we going?
Come on, just run as fast as you can!
Amicia de Rune and her young brother Hugo set out on a poetic and harrowing journey deep into the dark heart of the plague-ridden, war-torn Kingdom of France. Following an unspeakable tragedy, the siblings are forced to abandon their home. Pursued by the relentless Inquisition and unending swarms of ravenous rats.
Is anyone there?
Thrust into a brutal new reality, they will confront dangers no child should ever face. Meanwhile, Hugo is afflicted by a mysterious sickness, driving Amicia to hunt for a cure. She must do whatever it takes to protect her little brother and survive in this harsh and hostile world. Though bold, Amicia is just a child, and direct confrontation with her foes is futile. Instead, she will need to use her wits and ingenuity to best the threats that pave her journey.
I didn't want to.
Amicia!
Finally!
Hugo is far from just a burden. His innocence and naivety are offset by his courage, and he will prove vital in working with Amicia to overcome the obstacles ahead. Balancing light with darkness is critical to their survival. In some cases, Amicia will use this to her own grisly advantage. Though inescapable in their new reality, death is still unfamiliar to the two children, and the piling bodies are sure to have an impact on both their young minds.
Do you think we are hurting them?
Through their journey, they will meet those trained in the art of alchemy, who will offer alternative ways to overcome foes or open new paths.
It will protect you, and is pretty too.
Oh, all right.
Now we can go.
Thank you, Hugo.
Both the plague and the 100 Years' War with England have brought suffering to the lives of all in this decaying kingdom. And over time, the siblings will meet others in similarly dire circumstances. These dark times mean they aren't the only ones forced to adapt, developing vital skills to survive an uncaring world. And Amicia and Hugo will need all the help they can get.
he is incredibly useful for debuffing enemy units and allows us access to unique formation types. The gap on the left is now wide enough for us to make our great assault on the settlement. Cao Cao and his retinue are going to move up. Cao Cao himself is a commander, and they excel at buffing up nearby allied troops, rather than wading into combat themselves. So we won't be seeing him being the first through the breach. He's too valuable for that. We will instead be pushing up the Yellow Dragons. They are being supported by the Azure Dragons, a hybrid heavy spear and missile infantry unit. They will first hold back and fire over the walls with their bows, and once they've spent all their ammunition, they will join in on the front line. Let's move our heavy spears forward to climb the walls. Now is the time to press the attack. Getting the Azure Dragons firing, and now charging forwards with the Yellow Dragons.
Is there a heart beating in that spineless body? Is there a brain inside that cavernous head?
These heavy-hitting axe units are a formidable foe for anyone they go up against. They will make very short work of these spears. Let's check up on the center attack. The settlement is now on fire from the barrage of arrows, and our men are getting over the walls and getting stuck into the enemy.
Yes! Back them! Cousin, we come to aid you! We ride with fury at our back!
Our reinforcements have arrived. This huge mass of cavalry will be the perfect thing to break Lu Bu's men. We'll charge them into this spear infantry. They're going to knock these guys flying and destroy their morale. Our reinforcements are led by Zhehao Dun. He was shot in the eye by an arrow in battle against Lu Bu. He pulled it out, his eye still attached to the arrow, and proceeded to eat it. And we're going to get him out of the fight and head over to Lu Bu, who we're going to challenge to a duel. Duels are a new feature for Three Kingdoms, where the two heroes will duke it out in single combat until one either dies or retreats. Duels can help you single out an enemy combatant and take them out and turn the tide of battle. This battle is heating up. To see who wins, stay tuned for all of our coverage coming out of E3 next week.